We've got Linda from Florida on the line here.
All right.
Linda, hello. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing pretty well. And I wanted to say something to the different voice recipes, which Tallulah mentioned before, because I also have this as my normal voice, or I can have this as my higher voice. So whatever you want me to talk with, I can talk like this. So this is my normal daily voice, and this is my demo voice to make people look funny. I am not trans. I'm intersex. And also what Fiona said before, the bathroom issues are also very much for intersex people, because we sometimes look different when we actually have chromosomes. I happen to have XX chromosomes, and I was a man, and so until I was able to change again, I had the same bathroom issues. So I don't know how to say that. I don't really know where you guys are, because the TV picture is totally different of what I hear on the telephone. So I don't know what else to say, because I don't know where we are. I compliment you guys for doing this, and I hope if it changed a few minds, it's a good thing. Thank you all. Goodbye.
Well, thank you so
Linda.
much.
We
Linda had some
appreciate your
good
call.
voice recipes there.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we can take a few minutes then to talk about those different recipes, right? And to get a little bit deeper, Tallulah, into the work that you do. I know a lot of us are, somewhat aware of the idea of having like a phone voice or a customer service voice. But, in getting ready for this show, you kind of hinted at the idea that gender expression and other techniques go really beyond that. What can you teach us here?
So I'd love to explain my framework that I use, that sort of all of the voice work that I do falls under. I sent y'all a graphic. I don't know if you have it to throw up, but basically, there you go. Okay, I drew this earlier today. So our voice starts with our breath, right? So we have our diaphragm is the pink piece. That's this huge muscle. We have all of this power. And remember, our vocal folds are tiny. They're like a dime or less. So we're driving all of this breath through our instrument, our lung, and we're able to talk with that breath. The blue part is our larynx or our voice box. And there are a lot of different moving parts in there that work together to make the sound that we hear. Our sound doesn't necessarily sound very nice until it goes through our filter, but there are a lot of different ways that we can shift it. We can that bottom, there's a few cartilages into our voice. That bottom piece can make us belt, right? If we have a New York accent, hey, how you doing? It sounds a little bit fun for masculine voice to try belting. Our thyroid cartilage, the one that our vocal folds sit in, we can have it very, very vertical, boring, or aw, so adorable, or like this is max tilt, right? All just from how we're producing that sound there. We can have a really heavy voice or a really thin voice. And then we take that sound that we make and we filter it through our instrument, this really exciting instrument, because when you think about a guitar or a violin, they're fixed in size and shape. They don't move, whereas the human instrument is constantly shifting, and we have so much that we can do with it. So we take this sound that we've made and we amplify the parts of it we like. If we can have a big instrument if we want to have a nice dark deep sound, or we can have a really shallow instrument and have a very bright sound. Our larynx, that our voice is coming out of can be high or low. Inside of our larynx, above, we have our false vocal folds, which can make our voice very constricted or be nice and open like a Disney princess voice. We can make our throat be really narrow. Rawr, I have a really narrow throat, or nasal up high. But if we put them together, we end up with a really bright sound because we made it bright together. Our tongue can be in a really high position or a low position. We can spread our lips or have them purse. All of these things together just make our sound. The piece that I think is really important to know about this framework is window dressing. So there are a lot of things that work together to change our voice gender presentation. Those are the things that come from our power, our sound, and our filter. There are other things that are gendered in our society. Those are things like pitch, our intonation patterns, the melody pattern of our speech, how we emphasize words, what language we use. Do we say, would you kindly please sit in the chair, or hey, sit down? The accent. And if we make our sound and we shape it to sound like the gender presentation that our goal is, then we can use any window dressing we want and have people hear our voice as the gender that we are choosing to express. Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you walking us through all that. And I'll just let folks listening know, especially to the podcast audience, that there is a copy of that graphic in the link that's already in the show notes for this episode.